A lot of good things in practice today, but that's got to become, a bigger part of who we are. I mean, it's look, you can do so many good things, but there's two parts of it. It's the start of our defense, right, where we were like 27th and giving up fast break points, and then it's finishing it. We're 28th in second chance points allowed. So you can do a lot of good stuff at both ends of the floor. It's going to be hard to win consistently if we don't get those things down.
When you looked at the second chance scoring on the offensive end last year from the tape, I think they were 13th in second chance points scored. What do you see that's kind of indicative of those results?
Well, I mean, obviously I don't want to get into the whole plan, but the offensive rebounding and the defensive transition go together. And, to me, we got to be able to do both. It's a way you can get those like energy points, whatever you want to call them, relief points that can put you over the top, And so, I mean, it's definitely part of it. And yet, like in Boston, the bigger part was, we just didn't run hard back. It's still the biggest part of it. Floor balance is definitely a part, but a lot of it is just the effort to get back, and we've got to get that habit.
What was your theme today to the guys? Was it about that, about stuff you saw on film? And
I think the biggest takeaways were this roster was put together to run, and we didn't run at all up there. Now a lot of it was obviously, we didn't stop them, so it was hard. We were taking the ball out of the basket, but even on misses, we didn't run. Even when we created turnovers, we didn't run. And a lot of that is it's early in camp. Look, we had gone 5 days in a row. We've done a lot of contact. We did a lot again today. So for sure, I mean, it hurts the conditioning part. I mean, is a factor in it. But we also didn't run back. So that was the first one. The second thing is that we've just got to, against the really, really good defensive teams, we've got to, have more ways to move them. I mean, it can't just be put my head down and drive the ball when you're trying to play against Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. I mean, and it was I think, you guys know the numbers. So last year we were 9th in offense, but we were 22nd against the 10 best defensive teams. And the main reason why is having ways to move the defense, to create gaps that then get into drive and kick. I think that we should be able to score against anybody, okay? But we've got to have an offensive game that will allow us to play efficiently against the good defensive teams also.
So what you tell them in order to actually get this bounce back for tomorrow against the Pacers? What are some key things that you can focus on?
Well, for sure, playing inside out offensively is the big one. And that's one of the things that we were really good at last year. Like third in the league, drives into the paint. Last night, even at Boston, I mean, we didn't play well, but when the ball hit the paint, we scored very efficiently. And when we didn't, it was really, not good. And that's going to be most night every NBA team, unless you just make a bunch of threes. So playing inside out, and then obviously their three-point shooting. But the biggest part of that, frankly, was our transition defense. A lot of 5-on-4s, 5-on-3s, things like that. That we worked on that stuff today, and hopefully we'll be better.
When you look at, I guess, the injury report with, Cody and Gordon, I guess they're going to be doubtful for tomorrow. So is this once again just being precautionary to make sure that these guys are really healthy? It's all about long-term health, not about preseason stuff
100%.
Like that.
Yeah, and they're doing the non-contact stuff, so it's not like from an organizational standpoint they're getting behind. They both came to camp in great shape. But even in that with the non-contact stuff, neither one of them are, you can tell they have a little ways to go.
You obviously weren't here the past 2 years, but whenever Gordon is out, just people on the outside start getting in a tizzy fit. Like, does that bother you that even something simple as this, when you guys are holding him back and he wants to play, that the perception is that, again, that he can't go per se out there?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm a sports fan too, and I get my Mets.
Tell me that. I'm a Mets fan too.
Starling Marte gets hit by a pitch, it changed their whole season to a certain degree. So it's super frustrating. I understand that. But especially, Gordon, I mean, he's healthy, as Joe will tell you, this is the healthiest he's been, I think in the last 3 years. I was going over early in the morning, watching him work out. He's killed himself to get ready for this. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense to chance it. He's frustrated too. I mean, he wants to play, but it's just not.